Hi. Hi, everybody. November 8th. Needed a little bit of time to decompress from yesterday. I did. I'm sure you did. So now that it's a new day, we're fresh, it's early morning here, we can talk about it. And we're going to begin with Q's posts because, well, that's the reason that the Q operation was initiated by the administration about a year ago, was to offer a sense of direction to the public during these crazy times. So we're going to begin with Q's drop number 2448 here, and this is about the midterm outcome. Q saying, "We are at war, think logically. Why was winning the House majority the primary goal for them? To this point, what chamber is currently directing the DOJ and FBI investigations? That is the House. To this point, what chamber do they feel the most threatened by? That is the House. While the focus was on the House for them, due to the above, our underlying focus was adding pro-POTUS members to the Senate and safely securing a pro-majority. The Senate is worth so much more. The Senate controls judges, cabinet positions without House approval, and the Judiciary Committee of the Senate has direct oversight over the DOJ and FBI, more power than the House. While we had a Senate majority on paper, in reality we never did, nor could we count on bringing investigations to that body until it was safely in our full control. The Senate was always the primary objective. Moves and counter moves, we delivered on that. We got the Senate majority that we needed. Disinformation is necessary." Very important there. Disinformation is necessary. Because with Q being a back channel from the administration to us, out in the public, not only are we going to be reading it, but also importantly, and something to take into account when doing this, is that they, the bad guys, the bad actors, are going to be reading it. So within these drops, there needs to be disinformation to catch them off guard. And by doing so, we can be very clever, catch them off guard, and then make specific moves and counter moves that will assist us. This is exactly what happened. So we got the majority in the Senate that we needed. The midterm was a success. It was good. So now the ball is moving, and it's moving very fast. The very next day after the midterms, boom, lots of stuff happening that we'll discuss. Down here, do you think the current shill attack is organic? Q saying, buckle up. And I can attest to that. The current shill attack is not organic, not just against Q, but against myself and against many other people out there, not just in the Q community, but many others as well. Woo! Crazy times, but it's pretty fun, let me tell you. Now, next Q post. POTUS just said these people are sick. During his press conference yesterday, POTUS literally said, these people are sick. Q saying, we are with you, Anons. Again, what's the mathematical probability of all this being coincidental? It's quite obvious by now that Q is absolutely legit, not a LARP, tied in with Donald Trump and the administration. Next post here, we're going to show you a new world. Those who are blind will soon see the light. A beautiful, brave new world lies ahead. We take this journey together. Thank you, Q. I do agree. A brave new world is on its way, and it's going to take some work to bring it, but that's why we're all here, right? Let's see here. Q+. Remember, Q+ is the president himself dropping us a line on the boards. Thank you for your service to our country, Mr. Trey Gowdy. Thank you for your service to our country, Mr. Bob Goodlot. Your sacrifices will never be forgiven. Next post up here. Q+ again. Thank you for your service to our country, Mr. Jeff Sessions. Your sacrifices will never be forgotten. Jeff Sessions. Now let's get into that news. Jeff Sessions resigns as Attorney General yesterday as per Trump's request. Boom, this hit the news. A lot of people were like, whoa, what the heck? Triggered many people. I also saw a lot of shills try to attack the Q movement, saying, what about that plan now? You're always saying trust Sessions, right? Again, disinformation is necessary. Trust Sessions, trust Sessions, trust Sessions. So the deep state, or Democrats, whatever the heck you want to say, they were loving Sessions. You know, they were giving in to the optics. They were loving him, now hating him, now loving him. Now that he's resigning, they're like, oh my gosh, this crosses a red line. That red line we'll discuss in a sec. It's, you know, the game of optics has outed them as being complete flip-floppers. And not only that, but just because Sessions resigns doesn't mean this goes against a plan, right? What if that was in the plan? Sessions to resign. In fact, I think that might very well be the case. This is something that an Anon found. I'm going to reference my Twitter here. I posted it. This is something an Anon made, and don't know if this is true. Again, the path forward here is just all speculation. What Sessions going to do? I will say, a video I saw of Jeff Sessions of yesterday, he looked like he had a big smile on his face. He did not look upset with his resigning. So I don't think Sessions is necessarily done. And I do think that that is a part of the plan. Anyway, this tweet that I made of the Anon post right here. Sessions can also judge a military tribunal. Some people are saying he can testify, which might very well be able to do that, but he can judge a military tribunal. He used to be a captain in the Army. And right here, can a retired U.S. Army officer be called back to service? Yes, they can, especially during a time of national emergency, which we are under. How do you use a stealth bomber? Q continues saying. Stealth. Stealth refers to Jeff. Bomber, military. Wow, with all these sealed indictments and this being a massive military operation, military planning at its finest, Q says. Military law versus criminal law in a Q drop. Remember the questions that Lindsey Graham asked Judge Kavanaugh during his hearings, now Justice Kavanaugh. Do you know the difference between military law and criminal law? I wonder if Sessions is going to be activated in a role that is not Attorney General, but something else, but something very much aligned with the plan. Now let's talk about the acting Attorney General, who is now replacing Jeff Sessions in that top Attorney General spot. His name is Matthew Whitaker. Matthew Whitaker to replace Jeff Sessions as acting Attorney General. 3 things to know. So with Jeff Sessions' future in question, again, maybe he'll hold a military tribunal, judge it. Maybe he'll become a witness. Whatever the case is, we don't know. But we have Matthew Whitaker at the top AG spot. And people have begun digging into some of the things he said, a little bit of his history, and it looks like very, very good news for the plan, for all of us, guys. The reason I say that, and this is Matt Whitaker right here. So this is his Twitter. Badass mofo, look at that. He's got 245 on that barbell right there. And that's real stuff. He used to be a college football player. He's a BAMF, badass mofo. One thing about his history that he has said, former U.S. Attorney Matthew Whitaker, enough evidence to have a special prosecutor investigate the Clinton Foundation. Wow, this is a Breitbart article from over 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago. Matthew Whitaker was saying basically that Hillary Clinton, he doesn't know how the heck she got off. She did so much illegal stuff. She should be put in prison. I mean, Whitaker is a good guy. By the things he said, he looks to be a very good guy, and he's in a very crucial role there, isn't he? So Sessions, again, got John Huber activated. Sessions put Huber in place. Huber racked up a bunch of sealed indictments with his team of 470 investigators. All part of the plan. Now Sessions is out. Now we have Whitaker in there. So is it his turn to drop the ball? Don't know. One thing I've also speculated is that the next Attorney General, again, we don't know who it's going to be. I wonder if it's going to be Gowdy. That was something that said in a Q drop before. What role might Gowdy be walking into after his resignation? Interesting. I wonder if it will be AG. Again, just a speculation on my end. But Matthew Whitaker, who is now the acting Attorney General in place of Sessions, doesn't like Clinton. Good news. He's a badass. I'm interested to see what he does. So let's move on now to talking about Sessions' resignation igniting a fierce political reaction. This is that red line that we mentioned earlier. This is a red line. A lot of these, I don't want to say Democrats again. I like to say deep staters better. A lot of these deep staters are up in arms. I don't know how many of them have said the words red line on their Twitter handles as if it's some sort of code language or activation language. I don't know. But it's a red line. Sessions resigned from his position, and a lot of people aren't happy. Nancy Pelosi, like I mentioned earlier, the whole optics scenario between Sessions and Trump over the last year has really made these people flip-flop. About a year ago, Nancy Pelosi was like, we need Jeff Sessions in place because Trump doesn't like him. And now that he's resigned, she's saying, oh, Matthew Whitaker needs to recuse himself. All this nonsense. You know, they are not being consistent or contradicting themselves. Q, back to Q, is saying there will be no recusal. There's absolute panic in D.C. Absolute panic in D.C. I'm going to jump ahead really quick here to outlay this panic for you. So, like Fox News in this article is laying out, it's crossing a red line. A lot of people are freaking out. Check this out. Mass protests are planned across the U.S. to protect the Mueller investigation from Trump. So that's something very important to point out right here, is that because Jeff Sessions resigned, and remember, he recused himself from that Russia investigation, we now have somebody as acting attorney general who is not recused. Whitaker is now taking the precedence over the Russia investigation. It's not Rod Rosenstein's anymore, it's Whitaker's. Deep State's not happy about that. That's why a lot of these protests are being funded, literally funded. It's kind of obvious. And we got hundreds of thousands of people all around the country signing up for this. It's not a grassroots thing at all. You know, probably Soros funded, Deep State funded, whatever the case. But a lot of people signing up to protest. Big old media circus going around it. It's just nonsense. And Rod Rosenstein even, as per the chief White House correspondent for OAN, good stuff, OAN. I like you. Some of the people that you hire, I'm iffy about, but good stuff, OAN. Look at that, 4 6s. Synchronicity. But sources say that Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein will be offering his resignation within the next 48 hours. I believe, as per the taping of this video, I just saw something on Twitter a couple minutes ago where Rod Rosenstein is actually meeting with Trump today, sometime in D.C., and he's actually canceling future speaking engagements that he had for later in the week. So I wonder if he knows. I wonder if he's going to be canned. We shall see. But point is, Deep State doesn't like Rod Rosenstein not handling the Russia investigation anymore. They don't like Rod Rosenstein being fired. The Deep State are completely losing, and they are, it's a shit show for them. It's funny to see they are imploding. House of Cards is failing. You're seeing the changing of the old guard to the new guard take place, and there is so much chaos for the people with skeletons in their closet that are hiding things, that are lying and deceiving and don't want to be honest. It's crazy. But if you're on the right side of history, that right-handed path, you know, if you're being true to yourself, true to other people, it's great to see, guys. Great to see. So we got protests being planned with all this stuff going on. New acting AG who is awesome. Looks like Jeff Sessions out of there. Might be doing some different stuff in the future. And here's a little bit more on that protest here. Trump is not above the law. 400,000 people await word of rapid response. How is it such a rapid response? It's not organic at all. At all. Protests as Sessions firing sparks fear Rosenstein and Mueller are next. Buckle up, as Q said. Buckle up. Board under attack. 8chan was getting hit with some DDoS. Board's getting taken down. The 502's back up now. Do you understand why? Q's a threat. So right here, also a couple last things on Q with this red line stuff, with all this red line talk, you know. Oh, this is a red line. This was actually on the year, or not the year, but the 101 year anniversary of the Red October incident in Russia, the original Russia Revolution, Red October. That actually happened November 7th, 1917. Another freaking 17 there. But 101 years ago, the Red October Revolution in Russia happened, right? Q's been saying Red October for how long? How many months has Q been saying Red October? We can just look it up here, man, really quick. I like qmap.pub better than QAnon because you can do things like this. Red October, Red October, Red October. Been saying that for months. A lot of people have been trying to decode that. What does Red October mean? Does it have to do with the movie? Does it have to do with something like that? You know, some sort of aspect about the movie Q's trying to tell us, all this stuff. But gosh, when it comes to Q, when it comes to military intelligence, double meanings exist, triple meanings exist, quadruple meanings exist. Red October, I think, has been letting us know that on the 7th, something was going to hit the fan. And we are seeing that in action, folks. So Red October. And then Q saying here, let's get the normal post back right here. Imagine if the new acting attorney general now releases all previously blocked doc requests by the House. Ha! Wouldn't you love that? Including the Rod Rosenstein secondary classified scope document. Stealth bombers fly undetected. Who's that stealth bomber? Well, we got multiple stealth bombers in this situation. Maybe Jeff Sessions is going to be a stealth bomber, like we've been saying, put into another position after his resignation. But Whitaker, man, Whitaker's the stealth bomber here. How many people had never heard of his name before yesterday? Now he is just, boom, pivotal. Stealth bomber. The red line, months-old 4 a.m. narrative should be updated. Pain coming. Pain coming. And speaking of that pain, let's talk about it. What is it? Well, Sarah Carter here. Love Sarah Carter. Amazing woman. Trump seriously considering declassifying key Russia investigation documents. Another reason here the deep state is freaking. So Trump said yesterday that he's seriously considering it. And weeks ago, he said he wanted to wait till after the midterms. Plan right there. It's all planned out. Now that we're after the midterms, he can declassify this. And once that happens, ball rolls. Buckle up. Buckle up. That's the beginning. That's the very beginning. So, FISA coming. FISA coming. Deep state not happy. Deep state's not happy, which is probably why this occurred this morning in Thousand Oaks, California, there in LA. A shooting at a borderline bar and grill, the borderline bar and grill, leaves 12 dead. ABC is reporting it's actually 13. Latest count 13. Interesting number to be putting out there in the public, right? Symbology will be these people's downfall. But unfortunate shooting that happened. The shooter is dead. I believe some reports were saying he was also throwing smoke bombs into this bar and went in and did his thing. So I'm really curious as to the background of the shooter, the connections with the shooter. You know, we may or may not hear more about that, but I'm sure this was to derail any narratives that were out there and give us a distraction, give us, more of a political stunt, political narrative that the deep state can use. It's really unfortunate. And this may also, I wonder if it's connected to the fact that the FBI was raiding the home and the office of an LA city councilman, Jose Huizar, if I'm getting that right, Huizar? Potato, potato. But FBI agents raided the home and office of longtime LA city councilman Jose Huizar Wednesday morning, just a day after the midterms. So I wonder if this was to distract from this, also maybe to distract from everything else going on, scare people, get them into a state of fear. When people are scared, remember, when people are scared, they don't critically think. They get reactive. They're much easier to control that way. So, point here, guys, is lots of stuff is coming, and I'm sure the plan is moving along just as it should. With something like Jeff Sessions resignating, with something big happening, again, stay calm, stay centered. Don't reach for the clickbait so easily just because your ego wants to know what's going on immediately. It wants to feel right. Stay calm and centered and be like, okay, I wonder how this is going to plan out. Take a day, take a few deep breaths, take a little bit of time and ground yourself and try to see the full picture, right? So next few weeks are going to be very fun. Very fun. And very last thing I want to share with you guys, a little bit of lightheartedness before the end of this video. Something that cracked me up yesterday, and for some reason it's on breaking news. I don't know why it's on breaking news, but this is great. 2 Marine Corps aviators have been grounded while they're being investigated for flying a pattern resembling an obscene image, a very phallic image there over Southern California. This is very reminiscent of almost exactly a year ago when some naval pilots were grounded, investigated, whatever the case is, for basically leaving a trail above Whidbey Island in Washington State, and it was the same obscene image. It was a big old D, big old chemtrail D laid in the sky, and God, that was funny. This is funny as well. So down there near Desert Center, so Palm Springs, Joshua Tree area, over the Salton Sea, these 2 Marine Corps aviators decided to take a little joyride, and they, looks like, left some salty circles there over the Salton Sea and a big old wiener. It's a big old sky wiener. And really, it's I mean, yeah, unprofessional. Marine Corps. Come on, guys. But at the same time, do they really need to be investigated for doing this? I mean, nobody would have really have known except them and maybe a couple people looking at the flight pattern, tracking it. But, I don't know. It's, give them a little slap on the wrist, but it's just fun. It's all good-natured fun. So, there you go, guys. That's it. That's it for this one. We got Sessions gone, Whitaker in, Rod Rosenstein potentially gone soon, FISA being declassified soon, events occurring in California. Stay safe. Stay safe. Eyes open out there, everybody. Be very, very careful. And we got, apparently protests, engineered protests going on. So again, stay safe, stay calm, and then big ol' penises being drawn in the sky. Big ol' sky wieners. I'm out for this one. I'll see you guys soon.